Hello, folks. It's Patrick Cooper back again for another Three Songs Thursday series. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to start off, the first song actually ties in with the shirt reveal. I don't know if you can see it very well. It's not the greatest reprint. It's a Stephen Stills album that actually turned into a band called Manassas. And this was the first album they put out, and the album was just called Manassas. It started out, it was a Stephen Stills project, but he ended up enlisting Chris Hillman, Dallas Taylor, and a lot of other really great players. And instead of calling it the Stephen Stills Band or something like that, they named it Manassas. And this album is really pretty amazing. It was a double vinyl record, and there were different sections of different kinds of music that were all incorporated in the album. And this first song I'm going to do is from that album, and this would be definitely kind of more on the folkier end of things, but it also had like a blues, even a Latin, and then a kind of a more rock and roll sets. This one actually in many ways could have been a Crosby, Stills and Nash song when you hear it, but it was he did this with Chris Hillman and the guys forming the band Manassas. This project came about after the first breakup of Crosby, Stills and Nash and Young. As you probably know, they have broken up many times and then gotten back together. This last breakup may be the big one because evidently Stephen Stills has pissed everybody off and they may not want to play with him anymore. But anyway, this is a great song written by Stephen Stills and part of the album and band Manassas. So begins the task I have dreaded the coming for so long. I wait for the sun to remind me my body it needs resting. And I must learn to live without you now. I must learn to give only part somehow. Camping on the edge of your city, I'll wait, hoping someday you might see beyond yourself. Shadows on the ceiling, hard but not real, like the bars that cage you within yourself. And I must learn to live without you now. I must learn to give only part somehow. And I must learn to live without you now, as I cannot learn to give only part somehow. All of these cages must and shall be set aside. They will only keep us from knowing. Actors in cages now bow before the truth, and the love shared between remains growing. And I must learn to live without you now, as I cannot learn to give only part somehow. Stephen Stills' Manassas song called So Begins the Task. Supposedly, I think it was about his breakup with Judy Collins. Evidently, he took it hard because he wrote the Judy Blue Eyes Suite after their breakup as well. What's interesting is Judy Collins later actually covered this song on an album of her own. So there you go. Interesting, huh? But anyway, if you get a chance, I actually was able to find a CD still available to buy of the Manassas album. It's really something. And the second song is one of my own, kind of a bluesy number called "The Boy Laughs Too Much." How is that possible? The boy laughs too much. The boy laughs too much. How's he ever gonna learn anything that's real when he laughs too much? The boy jokes too much. The boy jokes too much. How's he ever gonna let out all that he conceals when he jokes too much? One day he'll learn that the world's not a funny place. One day he'll feel hot tears running down his face. Then he'll be just like us. Then he'll be just like us. The boy laughs too much. The boy laughs too much. Always wasting my time trying to make me smile. And he laughs too much. The boy jokes too much. The boy jokes too much. Hopping around, acting oh so infantile when he jokes too much. One day he'll learn that the world's not a funny place. One day he'll feel hot tears running down his face. Then he'll be just like us. Then he'll be just like us. One day he'll learn that the world's not a funny place. One day he'll feel hot tears running down his face. Then he'll be just like us. Then he'll be just like the rest of us. Where's that boy? You know the one that I mean. The one who laughs too much. Things been a little dull without that boy. The one who laughs too much. Where is that boy? Where is that boy? Where is that boy? Where is that boy? Where is that boy, 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 boy? Yes, that age-old question. Where is that boy who laughs too much? Anyway, that happens to be on a CD of mine. The CD is called Gree in Your Face. And some great harmonica work on there from Andy J. Forrest, a great New Orleans blues musician. And then some dobro work by Dwight Breland, a really hot guitar player who is also from the New Orleans area. Those are all on Bandcamp, by the way. You can either do it for downloads or you can buy a CD that will be shipped out to you. Anyway, enough of the commercial. All right, the third song is by music nerds really know a lot about this guy, and probably even some casual listeners, but his name is Nick Lowe, a great singer-songwriter out of England. And Nick Lowe was kind of almost, the Forrest Gump of a lot of British rock. He kind of turns up at certain points in British rock and roll history, post-Beatles in that era. But he was in a band called Brinsley Schwartz, and they did kind of it got dubbed pub rock because I guess it was kind of a mix of blues, R&B, even a little country and folk, and kind of all mashed together. Maybe now we would call it Americana or something, but a little bit more danceable though and higher energy. And he wrote this song when he was in the band Brinsley Schwartz with his bandmate Ian Gom, and Ian is still with us too, and so is Mr. Lowe. And then later, Nick Lowe hooked up with Elvis Costello. He produced, I believe, Elvis's first 5 albums, including the legendary "My Aim Is True." But then later, he had a hit on his own, Nick, with this next song that I'm going to do. It was actually his biggest hit ever. He was in later on a band called Rockpile, and Rockpile actually backs him up on this song. And it's kind of a song with an interesting message. I'm guessing some of it was tongue-in-cheek when he wrote it, when he and Ian wrote the song. The song is called "Cruel to Be Kind." Oh, I can't take another heartache. Though you say you're my friend, I'm at my wit's end. You say your love is bona fide, but that don't coincide with the things that you do when I ask you to be nice. You say you gotta be cruel to be kind in the right measure. Cruel to be kind, it's a very good sign. Cruel to be kind means that I love you, baby. You gotta be cruel to be kind. Well, I do my best to understand, dear, but you still mystify. I wanna know why I pick myself up off the ground to have you knock me back down again and again when I ask you to explain. You say you gotta be cruel to be kind in the right measure. Cruel to be kind, it's a very good sign. Cruel to be kind means that I love you, baby. You gotta be cruel to be kind. Oh. Well, I do my best to understand, dear, but you still mystify. I wanna know why I pick myself up off the ground to have you knock me back down again and again when I ask you to explain. You say you gotta be cruel to be kind in the right measure. Cruel to be kind, it's a very good sign. Cruel to be kind means that I love you, baby. You gotta be cruel to be kind in the right measure. That's a very, very, very good sign. Means that I love you, baby. You gotta be cruel to be kind. Cruel to be kind. The great Nick Lowe with "Cruel to Be Kind." Thanks for tuning in. This is Patrick Cooper. See you next Thursday. Bye-bye.